Okay, so let's proceed to the first homecoming, year 1887 to 1888. Rizal decided to return home after 5 years of studying in Europe. Despite yung pag-warn sa kanya nung families and friends niya, tinuloy niya pa rin yung pag-uwi sa Philippines. Why? Here are the reasons why he decided to return home. First is to treat his mother's eye illness. Second is to serve his fellow Filipinos. And third is to see yung effects or outcomes of his writings sa kanyang fellow Filipino. And to find out why Leonor Rivera stopped writing him back. Next, we have the delightful trip to Manila. Rizal traveled from Rome to Marseilles, a French port, via train. Then from there, he transferred to a steamer called Gemna, the same steamer which brought him to Europe 5 years ago. There, meron siyang na-meet na 50 passengers. Among them are 4 Englishmen, 2 Germans, 3 Chinese, 2 Japanese, many Frenchmen, and siya as nag-iisang Pilipino. Then, naging way of communication nila si Rizal kasi nga he can speak many languages. So, naging translator siya nung ibang lahi. Then, the steamer was en route to the Orient via the Suez Canal. Rizal then saw this historic canal for the second time kasi yung first time is yung pag-alis niya ng Manila to Europe. Then, on board, he played chess with fellow passengers and engaged in lively conversation in many languages. Some passengers sang, others played on the piano and accordion. Then, after leaving Aden, the weather became rough and some of Rizal's books got wet. At Saigon, on July 30, lumipat siya sa isang steamer na naman called Hype Hong, which was Manila bound. Then, on August 2, the steamer left Saigon papuntang Manila. Arrival in Manila. Rizal arrived in Manila on August 5, 1887, near midnight. Then, he noticed that Manila was still the same as when he left for Europe years ago. Then, nagstay muna siya sa Manila for almost 3 days para bisitahin ang kanyang mga friends. Then, later on, he went to Calamba. Happy homecoming. So Rizal arrived in Calamba on August 8, 1887. Then from there, winelcome siya ng kanyang families and friends with tears of joy kasi ngang tagal na nilang hindi nagkita. But sa kaligitnaan ng kanilang pagre-rejoice is nandun pa rin yung worries ng kanyang families and friends na para sa safety ni Rizal kasi nga marami na siyang naging kalaban dahil sa kanyang writings. Then, Rizal opened a medical clinic in Calamba not shortly after he arrived there. Then, his first patient was his mother who had cataracts or eye illness. Then, many patients came from different places after hearing about the skilled doctor from Germany. Then, from there, kumita siya ng 5,000 in medical fees within a few months lang. So, after earning his 5,000 medical fees, hindi naging gahaman si Rizal. Instead, gumawa siya ng gymnasium where he introduced European sports like fencing and gymnastics. His goal was to encourage discipline and reduce the bad habits like gambling and yung mga pagsasabong. Then later on, he wanted to visit Leonor Rivera in Dagupan. But he was stopped by his parents. Kasi ayaw ng parents or ayaw ng mother ni Leonor Rivera kay Rizal. Then unfortunately, Leonor Rivera was forced into an arranged marriage by her parents. Storm over the Noli. So while Rizal was happily living in Calamba, his enemies started their steps para pabagsakin itong novel na ito together with Rizal. Then the novel Noli Me Tangere angered Spanish friars and authorities. Rizal was then summoned by Emilio Terrero, the Governor General sa Malacanang. Then, after hearing yung charges against him, Rizal not only denied it, but he also explained that his book only exposed the truth about the abuses. Then a censorship commission led by Father Salvador Font recommended banning the book kasi nga ayaw nila itong novel na ito. Then, despite the ban, many Filipinos secretly read it. Some is binabasa nila ito midnight where wala nang guards sa labas ng bahay nila or totally wala nang tao sa labas. Then, Governor General Emilio Terrero assigned Jose Taviel de Andrade as Rizal's bodyguard. This was to protect Rizal sa mga enemies na who might attack him. Attackers of the Noli. So the battle over the Noli took the form of extremely harsh war of words. Father Font printed his report and distributed copies of it in order to discredit the controversial novel. Another Augustinian, Father Jose Rodriguez, Prior of Guadalupe, is nag-publish ng series of 8 pamphlets under the general heading Cuestiones de Sumo Interés or Questions of Supreme Interest to blast the Noli and other anti-Spanish writings. So what is a pamphlet? So a pamphlet is kumbaga short document, a short book where it contains an opinion or arguments to persuade others. So ito yung mga nilalaman ng pamphlets na iyon. Number 1, why should I not read them? Number 2, beware of them. Why? Number 3, what can you say about the plague? And 4, why do the impious triumph? 5, what do you think there is, or number 5, do you think there is really no purgatory? 6, is there no hell? 7, what do you think of these libels? 8, confession or damnation. So these pamphlets attacked Rizal and his writings para nga madiscredit ito. And they were sold in churches after Mass. And up to some extent, many Filipinos were forced to buy them to avoid angering the friars. So umabot sila sa extent na ganun para lang maban or hindi mabasa ng Filipinos yung gawa ni Rizal.
Ang Noli Me Tangere ay isang nobelang nagdantad ng mga pang-aabuso sa lipunan noong panahon ng mga Espanyol. Dahil dito, maraming tao ang kumalaban at bumatikos sa nobela. Ngunit, mayroong ding mga matapang na tagapagtanggol na nagpaliwanag na mahalaga ang aklat. Ang mga Filipinong reformista sa ibang bansa tulad ni Marcelo H. del Pilar, Antonio Maria Regodor, Graciano Lopez Jaena at Mariano Ponce ay pinagtanggol ang nobela at ang layunin ni Rizal na ilantad ang katotohanan upang magkaroon ng pagbabago sa lipunan. Ipinagtanggol din ang nobela ng guro ni Jose Rizal na si Francisco de Paula Sanchez at pinuri niya ito sa publiko. Bukod dito, sinuportahan din ang nobela ng ilang banyagang intelektual tulad ni Segismundo Moray, Miguel Moraita at Ferdinand Blumentritt. Sa kabila ng mga kritisismo, ipinakita ng mga tagapagtanggol na ang Noli Me Tangere ay mahalagang aklat na naglalayong ipakita ang katotohanan at magbigay inspirasyon sa pagbabago. Noong July 18, 1888, ipinagtanggol ni Vicente Garcia ang Noli Me Tangere gamit ang pen name na Fusto Desiderio Magalang sa Singapore. Pinabulaanan niya ang paratang ni Padre Jose Rodriguez na nagsabing mangmang si Rizal at ipinaliwanag niya na ang nobela ay laban sa tiwaning opisyal at traile, hindi sa Espanya o simbahan. Sinabi niya rin na kung kasalanan ang pagbabasa nito, nagkasala rin si Rodriguez. Lubos ang pasasalamat ni Rizal sa pagtatanggol ni Garcia. Ipinaliwanag din niya ang kamalian ni Retana tungkol sa kaalaman sa Pilipinas. Dahil sa kontrobersya, naubos lahat ng kopya ng nobela. Mula sa piso, tumaas ang presyo hanggang sa 50 pesos bawat isa. Noong panahon ng panunungkulan ni Gobernador General Emilio Terrero, itinalaga niya si Jose Taviel de Andrade bilang tagapangalaga ni Jose Rizal. Dahil dito, nabuo ang isang matibay na pagkakaibigan sa pagitan nila. Magkasama silang naglakbay sa kabukiran, nagsanay ng fencing, shooting at pangangaso, pati na rin sa pagpipinta at hiking. Ayon kay Andrade, si Rizal ay isang taong may pinag-aralan, maayos ang asad at tunay na Ginoo, ngunit hindi ganap ang kasiyahan ni Rizal. Dumaan siya sa matinding kalungkutan dahil sa pagpanaw ng kanyang kapatid na si Olympia. Dagdag pa rito, siya ay nakaranas ng mga maling paratang na siya daw ay isang spy, kasapi ng mga Mason, Protestant at maging isang mangkukulam. Sa kabila ng lahat ng ito, nanatiling matatag at marunong magpasensya si Rizal sa harap ng mga pagsutok. Noong 1887, inutusan ni Gobernador General Terrero ang Laguna na imbestigahan ang mga asyenda ng mga pari dahil sa reklamo ng mga magsasaka. Isa sa mga inimbestigahan ay ang hasyenda ng Calamba ng Dominican Order. Humingi ng tulong ang mga taga-Calamba kay Jose Rizal para ilista ang kanilang mga problema tulad ng mataas na renta, pagkawalan ng lupa kahit pinaghirapan nila at kawalan ng tulong sa edukasyon at bayan. Dahil sa report ni Rizal, naggalit ang mga pari at may banta sa kanyang buhay. Pinayuhan siya ng gobernador at pamilya na umalis muna sa Pilipinas para sa kaligtasan at mas makapaglingkod sa bansa mula sa ibang bansa. Bago umalis, gumawa si Rizal ng tula para sa bayan ng Lipa. Itong Himno al Trabajo or Hymn to Labor bilang pagpupugay sa kasipagan ng mga tao.